the elves asked suddenly. For the first time they realized that he was missing. They glanced about the chamber, looking blankly at one another for explanation. Then Menion Lee, who turned back to the gleaming sword, watched the impossible happen. The great block of tree stone in its precious display began to shimmer and dissolve before its astonishing eyes. It took only seconds for the entire image to fade into smoke, and at last into the air itself, until the men stood alone in an empty room, staring into a space. "A trap! The third trap!" said Lord Menyon, recovering from the initial shock. So, yes. Yes! It's an epic adventure. The next book you can, and that book, The Sword of Shannara, will be, if you want to vote for it, vote 3. Okay? The next book is Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Oh my gosh. This one is... Can't even turn the pages. Yeah. The Riddle House. The villagers of Little Hangleton still called it the Riddle House, even though it had been many years since the Riddle family lived there. It stood on a hill overlooking the village, some of its windows boarded, tiles missing from its roof, and ivy spreading unchecked over its face. Once a fine-looking mare, and easily the largest and grandest building for miles around, the Riddle House was now damp, delicate, and unoccupied. So if you want to vote for this book, vote 4. Yes, okay. Now we're getting into some of the bigger paperbacks, and this is New Moon by Stephenie Meyer. I felt like I was trapped in one of those terrifying nightmares where you have to run till your lungs burst, but you can't make your body move fast enough. My legs seemed to move slower and slower as I fought my way through the callous crowd, but the hands on the huge clock towered in slow. With relentlessness, uncaring force, they turned inexorably towards the exit, the end of everything. So if you want if you want to vote me to read this one, vote 5. Next book, Little Lost Girl. Okay. Scritch, scritch, scritch. There it was again. TJ had first realized that something was living in the walls when she had seen the cat staring at the baseboards in her bedroom. It was as though Oscar could see right through the wood and the plaster behind it. And this is Little Lost Girl by Charles Lint, and this, if you want to rate for this one, 6. Vote 6. Eldest by Christopher Paolini. Okay. The songs of the dead are the lamentations of the living. So thought Aragorn as he stepped over a twisted and hacked Yorgol, listening to the keening of the women who removed loved ones from the bloodied blood grounds of Ferris Dorham. Behind him, Saphira delicately skirted the corpse, her glittering blue scales the only color in the gloom that filled the hollow mountain. If you want to vote for this one, vote 7. Seventh Witch by Gregory Maguire. So to talk of random brutality wasn't just talk. At noontime, they discovered the bodies of 3 young women out on some mission of conversation as they appeared to gone awry. The noticed mounts had been strangled by their ropes of holy bees and their faces removed. This one is the second series in the Wicked years. So if you want me to read that one, vote 8. Okay. And The Mockingjay by Suzanne Collins. If you want me to vote for this one, vote 9. I stared down at my shoes, watching the fine layer of ash settle on the worn leather. This is where the bed I shared with my sister Prim stood. Over there was the kitchen table, the bricks of the chimney which collapsed in the charred heap provide a point of reference for the rest of the house. How else could I ornate myself in this sea of gray? So yes, Mockingjay by Suzanne Collins. And the last book, No Mercy by Sharon Kenyon. And you can take my life, but you will never break me. So bring me your worst, and I will definitely make you mine. These words, written in French, still remain on the top of Nicola Palette's desk, where she carved them with her bear's claw after the death of her 2 sons. It wasn't just a motto, it was an angry declaration to the world that had taken their sons from her. A ruthless tragedy that had spurred on her to create the most renowned of the shapeshifter heavens. If you want me to read No Mercy, that one is 10, I believe. 10. So, the books again are The Vampire Lestat 1, The Witch's Brew by Terry Brooks 2, The Sword of Shannara by Terry Brooks 3, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire by J.K. Rowling, book 4, number 4, New Moon by Stephanie Meyer, book 5, Little Lost Girl by Charles DeLint, book 6, or number 6, Eldest by Christopher Paolini, book 7, Son of a Witch by Gregory McGregor, book 8, and The Mockingjay by Suzanne Collins, book 9, and the last one, No Mercy by Sharon Kenyon, book 10. You can pick a book from each pile, so 1 through 5 you pick a book, and 10 through, well, I mean not 10, 6 through 10 you pick a book. So, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye!